Welcome MLP fans to my Observation Discovery Theory video. I'm going to walk you through all the scenes that were in the MLP Season 9 final trailer, and give you everything I discovered, observed, and analyzed throughout this video. Today's category is called Battlefield. Sorry, I had to do that. Where we will see all confirmed scenes that are in that specific location. I'm sorry, I had to. If you haven't seen any of my last categories, please check them out, because there's a reason why I put these categories in a specific order. If you don't want to, that's okay. It's just a suggestion. For those who saw my last category video, you know how it goes. For those who are new, at the end of each scene, I give a lot of questions. Then at the end of the video, I give you my theory fanfic reading. Now for the side note, please excuse my poor grammar, writing skills, and weird pronunciations throughout the video. My observation discoveries and theories may or may not be canon in the season finale. The order I put these scenes also may or may not be canon in the final episodes. Remember, I could be terribly wrong and that's okay. No fighting, please. I was just having fun analyzing the trailer. Also, to have this on your minds while watching, the MLP staff have changed backgrounds to throw us off in the Season 9 trailer before, and that was annoying. Thank you for listening.
Do you know you're all my very best friends? A battlefield.
Before I get into this category, I first want to point out when analyzing Battlefield, my theories kept contradicting each other because of how most of these scenes are actually shown. In other words, the order on which scene comes first is hard to figure out, and timing. I analyzed these scenes multiple times. The background, the pony placement, and surroundings are just not very clear. I hope you guys can help me out. Well, that's enough from me. Let's start this, shall we? We see the main seven lined up on a small hill or field with strong expressions on their faces. From the beginning, we see dark grayish clouds and some high hills in the background. Everyone, except Twilight, have an angry or mad facial expression. Not sure that Twilight's words are in sync with this scene, but she looks to her left and then straight forward. The rest have the exact same stance and looks, so there isn't too much revealing on their standpoint. But we know that they are looking at something, some place, or some pony in that direction. And they are angry! Let's ask, why are they angry? Are they looking at something, some place, or some pony creature with the intended expression towards it? Are they preparing for something? If yes, a battle, a confrontation, against a villain? Or the villains? Is Twilight giving them a battle speech or stating the fact that it's up to them to save Equestria? If that's true, what happened to every pony? Starlight, the princesses, Discord? Are they out of commission? Or are they on their own again like in the first 2 episodes of Season 9? What has happened to every pony? Also, they are at a field with no building in sight. Why? Clouds above them are dark. Are the Wendigos back? Probably, and this is where we head to the next scene. And here we see the Wendigos, and Twilight Spike, and a yellow magic portal. Oh wow. Focusing on the Wendigos, they are there and circling like vultures. Also, snow falling. Then the last thing we see in this part is 2 trees, in which I have no clue if they are important or not, but I pointed it out. You're welcome. Next, we see the Wendigos up there, Twilight and Spike standing right next to each other, and a yellow portal appearing in front of them. Let's look at the background, shall we? We see the green fields and a road in the back. And even further back, we see an already destroyed Canterlot. This scene confirmed it for me, that big blast happened before Twilight and her friends were on the field. Connection! Now let's observe the characters. We can't see Spike's face, but we do see Twilight's. It's interesting that she doesn't look angry, sad, happy, or surprised. She looks curious or even straight-faced towards the portal, which probably makes sense whatever the situation this is. Also, the portal's magic is yellow, which indicates this is Grogar's magic. Grogar has the power to teleport himself and others, so this confirms that this is his doing. And while the portal gets bigger, at the very last second of this scene, we see 4 shadows. There's a creature coming out of that portal, and that is confirmed T-Rex. This is my evidence towards that theory. The head, the chest, and the arms show that this is T-Rex coming through. If I am wrong, you have my permission to tell it to my face. I dare you to. Actually, I wonder if someone would actually come to my door and say that to my face. That would be interesting and show dedication. For that, I would give them cookies for taking that journey. Alright, to the questions. Okay, it is confirmed that the Wendigos are there. However, why? Why are they circling? Were they summoned? Or are all the ponies in Equestria fighting? If yes, then why aren't they freezing everything? We do see it snowing around them, but not anywhere else. There is no snow on the ground. Are the Wendigos waiting for something to happen? Or are they waiting for orders? If yes, is it orders from Grogar? We see his yellow portal. Is he finally going to confront Twilight and her friends? T-Rex is for sure coming through the portal, but are the rest of the villains as well? Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and maybe Grogar? Is this the final battle? Twilight and Spike are just standing there. We don't see the rest of her friends. Are they there as well or not? If yes, are they waiting for something to come or to happen? Twilight doesn't look scared or surprised. Is it because she was expecting the villains to come? Is this their first meeting or have they met before? If yes, could this be the situation where Grogar gave the main seven the serious choice that will change the outcome of this conflict, resulting in something drastic happening to them or Equestria in the end? And this scene is where Twilight and her friends are waiting for the villains to give their answer or choice to them? What is this drastic choice? Wow, one scene can really get a lot out of one pony. I still have a lot of questions, but I'll save them for the later coming scenes. Next one. Whoa, we get some action! As you can see, Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie are dodging and getting away from that big red magical power. Now, I'm going to observe different aspects of this scene. I will start with the characters. From the beginning, as little we can see, there's Twilight, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash close together, already running out, escaping. You can see the magic beam here, so obviously they are avoiding the danger. Next, on Twilight and Rainbow's faces, we see that they are not scared but strong. In other words, they are not panicking but cool-minded when avoiding the danger. However, Pinkie, she is actually looking mad here, or maybe she is shouting something. It's not very clear, but afterward, she is smiling in the rest of the scene. Notice, Twilight's horn is activated the whole time. You can tell the ponies are avoiding the danger but very calmly, as if they seem to have a plan in mind. Could be a distraction. Pinkie and Twilight even cross each other even though they seem to be less in danger than Rainbow maybe. Rainbow Dash literally flies right, then left, then down, or down forward. It's not clear to tell at the end. I want to also point out the white streaks right here. It indicates movement or something coming at them. Most likely danger, which is true. Which leads me to talking about the danger, which is the red magical beam. It's exactly the same magical beam that was shot out from Canterlot. This beam was also shot out twice in this scene. From the scene beginning, we see it there and in the next frame as well. In the third frame, it disappears but left behind a little destruction right there. Then, the magic beam gets fired again at the same place but starts to follow Rainbow Dash. I also discovered this fun fact. You see this little spark of fireworks? When that happens, the magic beam goes a different direction. I will show you in slow motion. From the beam's point of view, you see the sparks here. It goes right. Then, it sparks again. Then goes left, following Rainbow. When Rainbow Dash turns again, it changes direction to the right. Also, the beam comes so close to the screen that it's hard to tell if it's going right or straight towards us, but it's a really cool fact. And as you can see, the trail of destruction is clearly shown here, which of course is left by the magic red beam. One last thing I want to point out is there is a road or a path right there, right behind them, which may be important to remember. Now I have questions. This red beam is the same one from Canterlot, so why is it here again in a different location? If this is T-Rex magic, how did he get from Canterlot to here? Was he teleported there? Also, why does he aim in the same place a second time? I mean, the ponies are moving. It makes no sense unless, is he really bad at aiming? Or have trouble controlling his own magic? Why are the ponies so calm in dodging T-Rex magic? They don't seem to be scared, so is this a diversion? Or did some pony come up with a strategy against it? Twilight has her magic activated the whole time. Is she planning on something? With it? If yes, what? A spell? Teleportation? Protection? And why does Pinkie make that face at the beginning, then smile while running? Is she having fun? Rainbow Dash seems to almost get caught in the beam. Is T-Rex aiming for her? Could this scene indicate that after the deal was off that this is an all-out battle where the main seven split up to fight each villain separately in groups to take them on? Also, why is the road important? Does it determine the place and time for this scene like the ones that are coming up next? Let's find out. Go Twilight, go! Whoa! This is epic! We see Twilight jump from rubble to rubble and then fly! Notice from the start the white streaks around the screen indicating that something is coming at her. And yes, there is. Before Twilight takes her first leap, you see she stretches out her wings and her magic is activated. She then pushes herself off the ground to the first rubble. Look at Twilight's face. She is not scared, not even a glimpse of hesitation. She then looks at the rubble and leaps at it. Notice there are now multiple rubble falling around her. When Twilight lands on the second one, her eyes seem to focus at a certain point, and she is not happy. She also is looking up, and when she jumps off the last one, she really flies to her target, whatever that may be. When watching Twilight's movements, she is not dodging. She is using the rubble to her advantage. Twilight was already thinking ahead what her next move or attack is going to be. If she was dodging, she could have just flown away or just gone to a different direction. Now, let's take a closer look at these things that are falling. I honestly don't know really what to call them because of their color. If they were rocks, I believe they would be a grayish color. I call them rubble because of their color being brown and dark greenish, and they seem to come from the ground. To reasons why, look how these things are not falling but on purposely aimed at Twilight. If these were falling, I think they would have fallen randomly in random locations. Before Twilight takes her last leap into the air, you can see the rubble falling at a certain point to the ground. That's the same point where Twilight was standing. So these were on purposely aimed. But how could these fall at a perfect point unless it was thrown? And since Twilight was looking up at her target, I would believe that Tirek destroyed the ground below and started throwing the pieces from the ground at Twilight. The angle, the height, where Twilight is looking all point to this. However, we have no clue if this is even true. This is just observation. The last scene we see Twilight leaping out at her target with great speed with "I'm going to get you" expression. And one last detail I want to mention is the road or path behind Twilight. Placement reasons. Now to the questions. Why does Twilight have that expression on her face? She looks mad. Why is her magic activated? Is she about to cast it? If yes, at what or whom? She could have easily avoided the object, so why is she charged right into the danger zone? Danger zone, making it more risky. Is she trying to get her target? She leaps like she's about to attack. Also, she does look at something from a great height. Is this Tirek? Is he huge? Makes sense from his height to actually throw something at her, but why throw? Why not use his magic if this is Tirek? So is it him? Or something or some pony else? Also, if Twilight wanted to be higher than her intended target, why not fly up instead of through the rubble? Did she try to be sneaky, or was this part of her plan all along? She moved so smoothly, was she thinking ahead, or was this just a quick reflex? Lastly, behind Twilight, there is a road that seems to be important, and her friends were near it as well. Where is Twilight's friends? My mind is heading off to the Yellow Brick Road, off to the next road, scene. Rarity, protect! Protect Spike! Actually, I'm really proud of Rarity at this moment because this scene is actually really intense. From the start, you see Rarity already activating her magic to put up a shield. She protects Spike from the green magic blast that is about to come. But look closely on Spike. There is smoke coming out of his back. He was actually hit. Something did hit him, and he's on the ground for it. Rarity does see that Spike is hurt, and there's another magic beam firing at him, so she puts up her diamond shield and protects Spike just in time. You can see Rarity struggling against this magic, and the last thing you can actually see in this scene is Rarity's shield cracking. There is the proof. This green magic has to be Chrysalis, since she has strong magic, and also her magic is green, and she's tall. The magic beam is from a high angle, which indicates the owner is tall. That is the only explanation and proof I see here. And in the background, you can see the road. Placement. Now I have so many questions. When did Spike get hit, and who fired at him? Was Spike flying when he got hit, or on the ground? Did he get hit protecting some pony? Maybe Rarity? Is this Chrysalis's doing? Did she injure Spike? She is aiming at Spike. Was Rarity near Spike when this happened? Or did Rarity jump in to save Spike? Rarity is struggling with her shield. Will she hold out long enough? If her shield cracks, will she get hit? Or will Spike wake up to save her? Will Spike sacrifice himself to save Rarity? Or is this going to be a Rarity versus Chrysalis fight? If yes, get me some popcorn because I am going to enjoy that. Go Rarity, go! Lastly, Rarity is near the road. Are the others close by? If yes, are the main 7 divided in groups to fight villains individually to split them up to make them weaker? If that's the case, is Fluttershy and Applejack working together? If not, where are they? Is every pony okay? Why do I get this gut feeling that no pony is going to be okay? And this next scene is the reason why I feel this way. We see the main 7 lined up and then huddled together. I actually broke this scene down frame by frame so that I don't miss anything. I honestly don't know where to start. I could literally talk about this for an hour, but there is no time for that. I will try my best to summarize each pony and dragon what they are doing and expressing in this scene, so let's get started. Rarity moves closer to the others, sits next to Pinkie, puts her hoof on Spike's shoulder, then looks forward scared. Pinkie looks down sad, then to Rarity, lifting her hoof, then hugging Rarity and Twilight while looking forward with a worried or scared look at the end. Spike looks straight down with a scared or a sad expression, then looks up at Twilight while lifting his claw up, hugging her hoof, then looks straight forward. Twilight looks down at Spike with a sad, worried expression, using her right hoof to hug or cuddle Spike for comfort. Then she looks at her friends on her left and then forward with a determined, serious face. Applejack, with already one hoof in the air, offers Rainbow comfort with a sad look on her face. She then looks at Twilight, lifting her other hoof to hug Twilight from behind. She then looks forward with a serious, determined look. Rainbow Dash from the start looks at the others with a serious, determined face. She backs up with the group, then with a sad expression looking at Fluttershy and putting both her wings over Applejack and Fluttershy to comfort them. Rainbow Dash at the end then looks forward with a serious, determined look. Last but not least, Fluttershy looks sad and scared while moving in front of Rainbow, then laying down. She then looks forward like the rest of them with a worried and scared expression. Now that we have gone through every pony, time for the questions, and I'm already starting this off with, why does every pony and dragon look like they're about to die or sacrifice themselves? Is this the drastic decision Twilight had to make? Give themselves up for the good of Equestria? If yes, did all her friends agree to this? Even Spike? Was this a group decision or only Twilight's? Was this the villain's plan all along to get rid of Twilight and her friends? Did the villains thought this through? If yes, who? Grogar? T-Rex? But how? Is this a similar situation like when T-Rex gave Twilight the decision to trade all her Alcor magic for her friend's safety? Cause that would make sense. Also, why would Fluttershy move in front of Applejack and Rainbow Dash? Why not stay next to Rainbow Dash? They are all looking forward at something or some pony. Are they looking at the villains? Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack look serious at the end with the others looking scared. Why are they scared? Why do they give those expressions? If they're going against the villains, why don't they fight? They are themselves the elements of harmony. They defeated Sombra together. Why don't they power up and do that again? What makes this situation any different? Unless they are giving themselves up for something that they can't fight against. Do the villains have a hostage? If yes, who? Is it Celestia and Luna? Or even Discord? Where are they, may I ask as well? Are they okay? Also, is it all the ponies in Equestria the trade? What is it? What is going on? My heart can't take this. I need to know. The main 7 seem willing to give themselves up. Their expressions match each of their personalities on how they would respond to a situation like that. I have to keep asking, but only after the next scene. And this is exactly the same scene as the last one, but just a few seconds later. We see the main 7 are cuddled together waiting for what's about to hit them. The white lines around the screen indicate that something is literally coming at them with great speed, and the main 7 close their eyes to await their fate. Fluttershy is also the last one to close her eyes. The only difference between this scene and the last scene is the angle we see the main 7 in. Now to more questions. What is coming at them with great speed? Magic, something, some pony? Could it be a villain? Why is Fluttershy the last one to close her eyes? It would make sense if she was the first one, but why last? Is the main 7 really sacrificing themselves for the good of Equestria? Is what about to hit them going to finish them off? We don't see Twilight conjuring up magic. Why aren't they defending themselves? If this was Grogar's plan all along, is this how he got them to surrender themselves? By a hostage situation or bargain? Why are they willing to do this if this was the end for them? Twilight was about to become ruler. Why does it end like this? There's no other proof in the final trailer scene of the main 7 or any pony defeating the villains. No big blast or anything. How are they going to win? I don't know. I don't know every pony. I don't know. But I can say this. If this scene is the main 7 choosing to sacrifice themselves, then I am so proud of each and every one of them. They know what is about to happen to them, and they willingly choose to face it. Whatever happens to them, they faced it together. All 7 of them have grown so much, it makes me love this show even more. And of course, to lighten up every pony's mood, I know this is not the end for them. They will somehow get out of this and save the day in the end. Maybe Discord saves them, or maybe the young 6 will intervene. Maybe the main 7 unknowingly protect themselves with their magic from what's about to hit them. What if they, and this is a wild guess and possibility, but probably won't happen, but what if they did get hit, but like Twilight in Season 3, they all vanished and went to the place where Twilight became an alicorn, and every pony there becomes an alicorn as well? Whoa! Though that's a huge twist and surprise. And I don't know about Spike, but I could imagine him growing a little bigger maybe in that area, not an alicorn. That'd be weird. Spike alicorn. I'd love to see that fan art. And the show wouldn't get rid of the main 7 like that. It would be also too dark for the younger audience. But you never know. I do get overly dramatic in most of my observations, but that's just me living in the moment. It comes and goes. Now, this was the last scene, so let's get to the next section. Now we have gone through all the scenes on the battlefield. I hope I was able to give you as much information on these as possible. And the questions I have given you, I honestly think some are true and some are overly dramatic. Sorry. Actually, someone really should write a fanfic about that last part. But still, think about it. Since we have gone through all the scenes, it's time for my theory fanfic on this category. I hope you grabbed your popcorn and tissue boxes because your cheeks are in the splash zone. Let's ride. Oh yeah, before I start my read, I mentioned in my last video that I would bring this scene back. Why? It's because I think that after Twilight teleported everyone out of Canterlot, Celestia would still be flying and would fly down next to Twilight, who after seeing what choice she made, resulted too. Celestia would try to comfort Twilight, for the decision she made was necessary. That is how I matched these two together, which resulted in me doubting that the background of this scene is not Canterlot, but outside on the field. But hey, I could be wrong, but that is how I'm doing my theory. Now, let's get started, shall we? After Twilight teleported every pony out of the throne room, she looked at the devastation of what her choice resulted in. Celestia saw Twilight's reaction to Canterlot and flew down towards her. She said, "Twilight, it's okay. You made the right choice. Ponies can rebuild. It's not a loss. You had to make a choice, and you did. And every choice a pony makes have consequences. They may be good or bad, Twilight. But I'm still very, very proud of you." Twilight felt better, for she did save every pony from the blast. There was no time for moping. She had to think fast of her next move. She ordered Celestia, Luna, and Discord to go back to Canterlot and try to help every pony who might still be there. They all understood and flew towards Canterlot as fast as their wings could carry them. Twilight and the others stayed behind in the big field, for they were going to lure out Grogar and the other villains. If the main 7 were going to fight, they were going to do it in a place where no pony or creature could get hurt. This was going to be a battlefield. Twilight devised a plan with her friends, for when the villains show up, they would split them up and fight them in groups. While they discussed more details, the sky started to get very dark and cloudy. Twilight looked up and saw white wind-looking horses showing up. The Wendigos have returned! The question is how? Twilight knew she had to act quickly. She fired her magic out into the sky, making it like a bright purple signal flare that in the end shot out fireworks. She did this 3 more times. Then, out of nowhere, a yellow magic portal appeared. Twilight was waiting for this. T-Rex was the first one to come out, then came Chrysalis, and then Cozy Glow. The portal then closed and the villains stared at the main 7. Twilight was confused. Their blue goat friend didn't show. Did he stay behind? The 3 villains chuckled and laughed, for they knew what their leader was up to. Twilight looked at her friends and told them the plan. They lined up and looked at their enemies. It was time. T-Rex gave an evil smirk and started to power up. Twilight nodded to her friends and said, "We must save Equestria. It's now or never. Charge!" Both parties started running towards each other. T-Rex blasted his magic at any pony he saw. Chrysalis did the same. Cozy was giving T-Rex instructions on where to blast. She was like another set of eyes for T-Rex. Rarity and Spike went to distract Chrysalis. Twilight, Pinkie, and Rainbow Dash diverted T-Rex's attention. Applejack and Fluttershy went after Cozy Glow. T-Rex was making way too much damage with his beam that it was hard to take cover for the ponies. Twilight blasted magic at him, but he just blocked it with ease. No magic could hurt him. Twilight then devised a plan to slow down T-Rex, making him drain all his magic by taunting and making him waste his magic by chasing him all over the place. And so they did. Twilight, Pinkie, Rainbow went from all directions, dodging his blast left and right. Twilight putting up a shield against his magic for then Rainbow and Pinkie hurting him physically, and vice versa. T-Rex tried hitting them all at once, but they moved too fast. They were coming from all angles, like annoying flies buzzing around him. He started feeling drained and resulted in picking up the rubble around him that he destroyed from the ground to throwing it at the ponies. Twilight saw this coming. This was her opportunity to defeat T-Rex. She jumped from rubble to rubble, and with her magic, Rarity and Spike had trouble capturing Chrysalis. Spike used his fire breath to burn the green substance she used to capture her prey. Rarity tried blasting magic at her, but mostly used it for protection. However, Chrysalis had the power to suck out the love from any creature, and she could feel one of them had a strong connection to the other. Chrysalis used that against them. She said something out loud, which caught Spike off guard. Chrysalis then used that opening to hit Spike with a magic blast. He fell to the ground. Rarity screamed. Chrysalis then blasted her magic at Spike to finish him off. Rarity saw this and ran to him just in time to protect him from the blast. She used everything she got, but Chrysalis was stronger. Rarity's shield was starting to crack. She couldn't hold on much longer. Fluttershy and Applejack had a hard time getting Cozy Glow's attention. She was a smart little filly. She wouldn't fall for any of their tricks. Applejack then started charging towards her, even though she was near T-Rex. Cozy Glow told T-Rex to fire at Applejack, but he was too busy with the other ponies. She then started to fly up high where Applejack couldn't reach her. But that doesn't mean Fluttershy can't. Cozy Glow noticed the yellow Pegasus flying towards her with full speed. Cozy yelped and tried to escape from her, just ducking down. But then Applejack was waiting for her on the ground. Cozy had nowhere to run or fly for that matter. T-Rex and Chrysalis couldn't protect her. What was she to do now? This turned into a game of tag. Fluttershy and Applejack knew she couldn't escape, so they chased her until her tiny little wings couldn't carry her anymore. While all this was happening, another yellow magic portal appeared. And this time, Grogar walked through, but he didn't come alone. Every pony and creature stopped what they were doing. Grogar spoke to his allies to come join him. "Took you long enough," said T-Rex, and all three of them joined Grogar. He explained it to them that it took time searching for what he was looking for. Grogar then looked at Twilight with a smirk on his face. "I have a proposition for you, Princess of Friendship. With the involvement of your friends, of course." Twilight listened to what Grogar had to say, for she dare not attack him, for he possessed something that would keep her from doing so. After he finished, Twilight and her friends' faces froze in horror of what they just heard. Grogar was giving the main seven a choice in which they couldn't refuse, for if they did, they would lose something in which, if lost, can never be returned. Twilight put on a brave face and looked at her friends. They all nodded and agreed, for all knew what they had to do. Spike, the youngest out of all of them, couldn't believe what was about to happen. They all couldn't believe it, but they knew it had to happen. They all got closer together, Twilight bringing Spike closer to him, trying to comfort the dragon. Pinkie hugged Twilight and Rarity close. Rarity put her hoof on Spike, to comfort him as well. Applejack put her hoof over Twilight. Rainbow Dash put one wing over Fluttershy and the other wing over Applejack. Fluttershy lay down low in front of Applejack and Rainbow Dash. She was the most scared out of all of them. It was a matter of time before what was to come at them. But first, Grogar wanted to gloat over this. He praised himself and his fellow allies for a job well done. For years of planning to achieve his goal has finally come. The villains all laughed, for they have finally defeated Twilight and her friends. The main seven were silent, but then Twilight spoke up, interrupting their victory laugh. "You may have defeated us, but there are others who have also the elements of harmony. True, it did start with us from the beginning. We are known as the elements of harmony throughout Equestria. We defeated many foes with our magic of friendship, but that doesn't mean that there aren't others with the same magic. There is a reason why my friends and I started a school of friendship. It was to reach our friendship lessons to the next generation of ponies, creatures, to all kinds. It was to pass on the real magic of friendship that is inside everyone. So if you think defeating us will destroy the magic of friendship, you have never been more wrong. For we were the small spark that started it all, but we kept that flame burning for others to carry it on for us. Twilight and her friends were close to the brink of tears, for all their adventures came flowing back into their minds, remembering all that they have done together, for every pony of Equestria, and what they are leaving behind. Grogar gagged, for he didn't care. He knew it didn't matter what she said, for he was going to take over Equestria anyway, and his greatest threat was soon to be out of the way. Grogar then positioned himself, facing the main 7. His horn was powering up with magic, and said his final words to them. "Farewell, elements of harmony." He blasted his magic. Twilight and her friends didn't even move, for it knew it was to come. They closed their eyes and waited for it to all be over. Everything then faded white and was dead silent. For whatever happened next didn't matter. What matters most is that they were together till the end. Oh wow, I forgot to get too dramatic on my theories. Apologies for that. I blame anime. As I have mentioned before, I honestly have no clue how this ends. Well, yet. I have many theories on it, but they keep contradicting one another. I'm still putting bits and pieces together, but I will share my whole theory of the Season 9 finale in a completely different video. For the theories I have shared with you guys in this and in my last 2 videos were my theories to each of these categories. So I hope to have my whole story put together before the finale comes out. Oh dear, that means I have to put my brain back together for this. Does anyone have any glue? Or ramen? That looks like a brain? Yikes. This was Battlefield Observations, Discoveries, and Theories category. If there's anything I've missed in these scenes or you spotted something new, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to share your theories on this category, please write them down as well. I love reading everyone's comments and interacting with you guys. My next and last category will be called Canterlot and the Pillars. Stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe to support my channel and to see more videos. Hungry Harmony, out. Thank you.